Hi guys, welcome back on my channel, and today I have a topic that I am very passionate about, as always. So yeah, it's kind of logical that I will talk about this, because why wouldn't I talk about it if I'm not passionate about it? But okay, nevertheless, it's about that you need to fix your finances, and I'm going to tell it not once, not twice. I'm gonna tell it like 15 times in this video. And I can't stress this enough, because it's so unattractive when someone hasn't fixed their finances yet. And I'm not saying like in a romantic type of way that that's the only reason that you need to fix your finances. No, it's for more like being calm in your mind. That's like the number one thing I think that we all are trying to reach. That's probably why you are watching these videos, because deep down it's not just, oh, I need to fix my finances. No, there's probably like a whole way of thinking behind it, because you feel stressed out, or you can buy a house, or there is something going on and it led you to you watching this video. If you can't handle money, then what can you handle? That's like a big question that I'm just wondering, because I just don't really understand when people can fix their finances. But it's easy for me to say because of the fact that I always had parents who were very strict about finances, who made sure I had a job when I was 14. So when you haven't had that in like when you were growing up, then I can understand that it might be harder for you to keep your money in check and just fix your finances in general. So basically, the first thing that I want to advise you guys is to have an overview of what you're spending every month and what you're earning. So there are a lot of videos and a lot of examples, templates on how you can do that, how you can structure it. But basically, just get yourself a spreadsheet, an Excel, a paper. I don't care, do it in your notes, but keep it somewhere in track. And do this for the main reason that when you're conscious about what you are spending, then you can actually change something. So if you are thinking, well, why would I do that? Blah, blah, blah. I don't have the time. I don't want to sit for 50 minutes to check my finances. Then that's on you. Then you will probably never fix your finances. But yeah, so the thing is, just get your laptop, get your phone, look on your app on how much you spend on everything, and just make some subjects. So the first subject is living. The second subject is activities. The third subject is sports. Like don't forget insurances and all that kind of stuff, because that counts as well. And the things that you are subscribed to, like, are you subscribed to YouTube Premium? Are you subscribed to Spotify? Take it all into account. Don't miss anything. I don't care if it's about a penny or something. It's more about the fact that you have a clear overview of what you're spending. So I am not dropping a template here in the description, because there are plenty of videos that can explain that to you. But also it's quite easy. It's just a simple list, and that's about it. Then you have that checked out, and you also have your earnings. That's probably your day job, but could be also some side hustles that you have. And when you have that in check, then it's good to see, how come I maybe spend more than I earn, or what could I save based on the past months, or are there things like I'm spending way too much money on? And then it's about mindset. It's always about mindset. It's basically everything is your mindset, how you look at things. But the thing is, guys, you have it now. Now it's in your conscious. You have it. You have that file. Okay, this is how much I spent. Then what you have to do is, or at least what I did, is some months I just track everything on my notes. Some months I just check it. So yeah, it's always different. Reality, it always turns out different. There is some kind of emergency due to the fact that you have to spend another 1,000 euros or dollars, or I don't know what your currency is. But the thing is, then you have to set your goals. And my goals, or at least if you don't have any goals and you don't feel like you have any inspiration, then I can give you some examples. The examples are, first, make sure that you have an emergency fund. Have an emergency fund for when you lose your phone. Have an emergency fund for example when you have an accident. Or an emergency fund if one of your parents gets sick, for example. So the reason that you should have an emergency fund is then you would have less stress. And we are all trying to achieve that. We are all trying to achieve happiness, greatness, just peace of mind in general. So that emergency fund is very important. You can make it maybe to start 1,000 euros. If that feels like a big job to you, then do just 500. But yeah, just make sure that you have that emergency fund. That's my number one advice. And then also, by the way, because of the emergency fund, then if you have a bigger emergency fund and you decide that you are in a very toxic work environment, then you might be able to quit a little earlier and get your peace of mind back and look for another job. But okay, the second thing is, besides the emergency fund, you probably also want to have some goal that will bring you more joy. So for example, that might be for some people vacations, because I enjoy vacations a lot. But if you say, okay, I don't really care about vacation, then it might be that you're really interested in tech stuff. So you might want to buy something, a new laptop or something. Just even if it's like small amounts, just put it aside, because then when you are saving up, you are also having something to look forward to. So I think that's an important one. I wouldn't recommend to be that, or at least to have that as the biggest amount that your savings are going towards, but just to take that into account is nice. Then I would also recommend, is now we already have two things that we're saving up for, is to not have like 7 things, because then it will probably feel out of reach, because everything is going very slowly if you're always putting in small amounts to every single bucket, if you know what I mean. So we have the emergency fund, then we have the vacation or something that you're looking forward for, but then there's always like a big long-term goal. So for me, that's always been my own place. This is a rent place currently, but you have to trust that process. So for example, I am very passionate about buying that house. So I will do everything in my power to get that house. And what I will do is, or at least what I've done, is I've been saving up like 1,000 euros a month. And for some people that isn't in their budget, but when you are really passionate about something, just know that when you're really passionate about it, then you have to do something for it. So for example, take an extra job if you're capable, or just start a side hustle. And if that's all not capable, or you don't have the time for it, or at least I don't think you ever have no time for something, I just think it's not a priority right now for you, that could be the case. But what you should do then is make sure that you are starting to learn, because there are always times that you can learn. Prepare yourself for the future. So in the times that, I don't know, you are putting your kids to bed, or you are in the train, or you are, I don't know, waiting on the train, you just have some spare time, or you are sitting on your phone, going on social media, and we all know that when you look at your screen time, it's not the way that you would want it to be. So guys, if you have that 4 hours of screen time, then you also have 4 hours to do something else. Or at least 3 hours, because maybe 1 is acceptable, but that's my point. You have the time, it is just not your priority. And if it would be your priority, then you have to change what you are currently doing. So take a little bit of time and just make sure that it becomes a habit, and I can just take time to learn. And if you are not feeling confident about starting a side hustle, beginning on your own, and that's not in your, like, that's just not your way of living, then that's completely fine. But what you could do is start to learn about, I don't know, maybe investing, or maybe trading, or maybe you would just really like to clean. then go and clean houses for some money. Or maybe you just really, really, really love animals, for example, and maybe you can be an animal sitter, or maybe you can become a babysitter, I don't know. But the thing is, guys, there's always a possibility to get where you want to be. And the thing is, with finances, it's completely the same. So if you are saying that something isn't possible, first check. Am I doing everything? Am I doing everything to achieve this goal? And we're talking about financially, but it could be literally everything. Or am I lacking in some things? Because I could be complaining about the market in the Netherlands, of the housing market. But did I do everything in my power to achieve the goal that I want to achieve, a house? And if that's not the case, then I can't complain about the government and blah, 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 doing nothing for me. No, because it's always my responsibility. So guys, fix your finances, because it's so unattractive. Because how nice would it be that you are conscious about what you spend and actually can choose what to spend and what not to. Because nowadays, guys, and this is the last thing that I will tell you guys, is nowadays we spend way too much money on things that we don't need. Reuse, recycle, I don't care what you do, but you don't need that other product for your face. And you don't need like a new hairbrush. And you don't need the latest coming thing from Apple. You just don't need it. And people will tell you that they need it because they are trying to sell it to you, and everything is like a game. This whole life is a game, and just make sure that you play it in your advance. So thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, leave it down in the comments, or just regular comments. It doesn't have to be a question, of course. I'm very glad that you watched till the end, and yeah, see you later. And now you're still watching? Please subscribe, because I could use some extra subscribers. Thank you.